Right. So some projects have a turning point. For Challenge 5, for me, today was that day. I spent most of the morning putting the pieces together, thinking this will work, and it didn't, and taking them apart. Hand sewing things together and taking all those tiny stitches out. Machine sewing and taking that out over and over again. By about noon, I'd gotten to, how am I going to tell myself and my friends and Scassell that I literally have bombed and I can't finish this. I can't do it. It won't come together. And then at 4 o'clock, I realized the problem. And the problem was that what had seemed so dramatic to me in my swatches under different lights on a runway was just going to be flat. It wasn't going to work. It needed to be bigger, not bigger in size, but bigger in drama. So I called my mother and said, I'm sending the kids over. I'm going to be gone 20 minutes. Can they just play in your toys room just for that long? Yes, fine. Zipped myself off to Ace Hardware. Walked into my local hardware store and said, who wants to deal with the crazy woman today? And sure enough, you say, I need 10 circles this big that are silver that look a lot like this little end of the dog collar choke chain. Oh yeah, the end of aisle 5 on the right, third shelf up. Sure enough, heaps of them. Okay, so if I cut this wire down the middle and separate the two colors, will they still be contained? Will it still? Sure, no problem. And they saved the day again. So now the construction is done. But I won't show it to you because now all the extra work, all the storytelling on top of the construction needs to be redone. The story's the same. We need to take the best of our history, our American history, our Native Indian roots, and the best of our present, which is technology and the industrial things we make, chains and pieces, pieces that fit together to make things work. And to fuse those into the strongest, fiercest version of ourselves to walk forward into the future, until we get to the end of the world as we know it. And then we see what that's like when we get there. I'm really excited about my piece. I almost made this video this morning and I would have been really upset about my piece. But today it's good. I have electrical wiring, part of it cut apart, and I have actually keychain rings is what I wound up with for my unconventional materials. I also have added chain and I also have added fur, but those were because they stand for things. This is a motorcycle style jacket and the fur reminds me of that tribal history. And the chains remind me of sort of that fierceness. And so I don't think they're necessarily unconventional in clothing, but they worked with this piece and they're the kind of things I would add to regular knitting patterns, except I think they scare people off. I have yarn and then I have to go somewhere else and get these pieces. So this is Challenge 5 and I'm getting there. I'm TalithaKuomi.